I'm Ronan O'Connor, so I'm the Managing Director and Vice President of HIMSS in Europe.
Great to have you here, Ronan. And it's probably good timing, actually, where we've had a busy week here at HIMSS in the US. But I guess the party doesn't stop there. There's an ongoing rotation of in-person meetups I know that HIMSS do in smaller chapters, but also bigger events as well, and being a global community. So you look after that side of the world, is that right, for HIMSS?
Yeah, it's not just Europe, it's Europe, Middle East and Africa. But as you said, Peter, yeah, HIMSS is a global community. It's 125,000 members. And what we do at these gatherings is we just bring all the best practice that's happening around the world so that all like-minded people can have this, share the same information and understand how they can drive forward in digital health.
Yeah. Well, hey, look, what I've noticed going around to a lot of the booths and going into the sessions is that, strong contingent, obviously, from the US in terms of attendees, but good global community, good global presence, quite a few Australians as well, which is cool. But why then do you need a separate event for Europe? Because this year it's in Paris, right?
Yeah, absolutely. HIMSS Europe this year is in Paris in June, so a lovely time of the year to be in Paris, 10th to 12th of June. But yeah, it's really important that we recognise that it's not one size fits all, and different parts of the world do things differently as well. So there's different regulations in place and how you drive forward on digital transformation. So take, for example, in Europe, you've got the European Health Data Space. And that's just been sort of announced. You've also got the AI Act, and you've got Cybersecurity Act as well. So whilst that's slightly customized to Europe, that takes the best principles around the world.
I'm curious too, looking into Europe and understanding the health system a little bit more. It's kind of like, this is a weird analogy here, but I liken Europe to almost like allied health. So in healthcare, allied health sometimes this is what allied health needs. But in allied health, you've got physios, you've got and then you've got dozens and dozens of other kind of modalities. And sometimes it feels like, yeah, that might work for this one, but maybe not for that one. How do you go about pulling together the needs of, there's the commonality there of, yes, the European region, but then every country's got their own, unique requirements in terms of digital health literacy and the even just needs through HIMSS general. I'm fascinated in what it's like, corralling all that together.
Yeah, well, it's generally, we're fortunate of the fact that we've got a very, very strong membership. So our membership advise us in relation to how we sort of drive forward in that regard. So, for example, in Europe and the Middle East, we've got something like 12 communities. So communities are sort of geographical groupings of like-minded people. So whether that is CNIOs, whether that's CIOs, whether that's others working within digital health transformation, policymakers, vendors, they come together in communities which that we support as an organisation. So in Europe, we meet with all those communities and they help to shape and form the content of the gathering that we're going to have in Paris in June.
Yeah.
So it's very much bottom up, and then taking the sort of the global best practices and bringing that together to host what we say is that the number one learning experience across Europe.
And what I've learnt too is that for HIMSS Europe, it's whilst super relevant obviously for people who are in that region, there's you're expecting a bit of a global contingent coming in for the event as well. Is there something for everyone there?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, whilst 50% of the participants will probably come from sort of the host country, the other 50% will come approximately from about 70 or 80 different countries around the world. And that's just based on previous conferences. So that was the figure in Rome last year, with 78 different countries represented.
Interesting. And you're no stranger to healthcare in different parts of the world. Tell me about kind of how you've seen things progress over the years in terms of what the industry needs, given where we're at now in terms of rapid scale of innovation, new technologies available, but all the challenges around regulation, cost containment. I mean, there's a lot of plates to spin in different parts of the world.
Yeah, it is. And I've been fortunate. I've worked certainly within the UK, where I'm currently based now, but I also had the privilege of spending 5 years in Australia, where it's great to be talking to you, Peter. And I had a fantastic time there as well. And the privilege of working for HIMSS is the fact that I get to support many other governments in their digital transformation. But the one thing I would say is that the challenges are common. And this is why HIMSS has got the mantra around sort of people, process and technology. That is, as I say, it's a mantra, and it's something that it can be applied at every corner of the world. But the challenges that everybody faces are really around the whole acceleration of digital health transformation. So it was moving fast before the pandemic. Post-pandemic, it has accelerated even more. It's absolutely going at a crazy pace. And particularly in Europe, what I mentioned around the new policy initiatives in relation to artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is important. Here today or here this week in Vegas, you struggle to find a stand or a booth that isn't talking about artificial intelligence. You don't sit through a single session without anybody mentioning artificial intelligence. And certainly artificial intelligence will be a key component of the Paris conference in relation to how that's disrupting healthcare, but ultimately how it's complementary to everything that we do going forward.
And lastly, then, so as we pull the banners down here at HIMSS Global in Vegas and get ready to head off to Paris for HIMSS Europe, why? So, there's so many different individuals doing different things in healthcare. Everything from those that are in policy and government, right down through to the frontline clinicians that are doing the healthcare and everything in between. Who's it really for? Where in the world, are people from that should be attending, and why should they go?
Yeah, well, look, I would very much talk about sort of the region that I'm currently working with in the moment. So I would encourage anybody who is interested in learning, interested in connecting and collaborating, and more importantly, interested in driving change in their local health system to come to HIMSS Europe in Paris in June, the 10th to the 12th.